What's up, Internet? Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper 2. In the last episode, we got all the way over here. Oh, I forgot. I forgot we got all the way. We're here at Wellspring. We should actually change our drive. But yes, we are waiting for Seraphin to help try to find his sister. We've landed at the water refinery situation here. And yeah, we think we might find the captain that we met before in another place on the far spindle. And yeah, that's basically it. So let's keep going. Right, so the Lodic Pass would allow us to get further into this area. So really everything is happening down here. This is the rig. Let's go with the Lodic Depot. Right, so fuel. And then cut water. Cool, so this is food, this is a work thing. Okay, what is this having us do? Supplies. Bliss said Seraphin was hunting for the rhyme market. Whatever it is, you'll need to get to know the area and its hidden ways to find it. Okay, well, here we go. Okay, we lost money. You pay a street hawker to guide you to the entrance, but they lose you in an alley. An old trick. We did make it a little bit there. Good. You noticed graphic markings on some of the shop fronts and heaters. Perhaps they lead somewhere? Okay. I think that's all we can do for today, really. I mean, maybe we can we use glitch dice on anything? I don't really feel confident in that. I think we just call it. Fuel is cheap here, so let's just do supplies. Yep. All right, end the cycle. Here we go. Okay, some good, some bad. We'll make it work. Okay, so I forgot. The one thing I can use glitch dice on is actually reducing stress. So if I push these, I can potentially reduce the stress then with the glitch dice. We'll take that. All right, but first of all, let's use this. Nice. Something about the flow of people and goods is wrong here. More people enter than leave. Boxes disappear down alleys. You're close. There it is. A dark, corroded door lies in front of you. The markings on it are right. This is the place. The markets of Chasm Row have become familiar in the past cycles. Their steaming, orange-lit depths, the persistent condensation on each unit's windows, the gleam of the amber workers' suits, each contributing to the particular atmosphere of this buried city. But amongst this, you have noticed other details too. The freelance crews on the hunt for illicit tech, the conversing workers who drop to a whisper when you pass, the light flickering up through floor grates, suggesting even deeper layers. These are the details you have followed to the Rhyme Market, a place discussed in hushed tones in dimly lit rooms, and, as you drift towards what you know to be one of its entrances, the door busts open in front of you. A large, dark bundle glides out the door and impacts the metal wall of the passage with an echoing bang, but your eyes are drawn by the imposing figure that hovers in the doorway, bracing himself on the frame. Stay out of the Rhyme Market, rat. The man sends an orb of spit spinning after the bundle. The bundle unfolds and you suddenly recognize Seraphin, winded but straightening up to go back for more. Stop Seraphin, huh? I think we don't try to stop anything. Let's see, what's going on? The man turns towards you as you shout, and Seraphin, seeing the opportunity, kicks off hard, flying into them with the swinging fists. The two tumble in a flurry of blows, slamming into the doorframe, until the man gets his legs between him and Seraphin and kicks him into the wall. Seraphin hits hard and floats away, a few crimson bubbles of blood drifting from his bust lip. Go to Seraphin. You glide over to Seraphin as he shakes himself awake. You put yourself between him and the figure. Know when you're beaten, rat, the man calls out. It's time to go home and lick your wounds. Seraphin exhales in frustration, his anger fading, replaced by the stinging pain of his injuries. You watch a perfectly round blob of blood form at the bottom of his nose. Want to explain what's happening? For the record, the man folds his arms, this one started it. He looks between the two of you, snooping around our meeting like a rat. You see his sharp eyes recalculating the situation since your arrival. I wasn't snooping, I'm looking for someone, Seraphin glares. If you'd taken a minute to talk to me before throwing a punch, maybe you would have got that. The man scratches at his beard, squinting at Seraphin. Say I believe you. What were you doing at the meeting then? Missing purses ain't our business. All I heard is this is where the loaded contractors meet, Seraphin sighs. I don't like you hearing that, not at all, and I'm gonna need to ask you who told you that later. He straightens up. But yeah, this is where the contractors meet, as if that's anything to you. The person I'm looking for is a contractor. Seraphin's frustration rises again. She uses the cover name Luz. He pauses, a desperation entering his voice. Please, I think she might be my sister. Something changes in the man's stance. He holds up a massive hand to silence Seraphin and looks down the passage in both directions. Not here. He retreats through the door. Get in. As you both enter, he reaches past you and slams the metal door behind, spinning the locking wheel with one hand. I'm Kirk, he grunts, pointing at himself with a thick thumb. Contractors are my concern, but if Lodic catch us discussing contracts out here? He shakes his head. He turns and leads you down the passage. You pass an open door and you glance inside to see a group gathered in a circle, all of them in workers' clothes. They're speaking in hushed voices. One of them exchanges a nod with Kirk. Let's not interrupt the meeting anymore, shall we? He glares playfully at Seraphin, who remains silent. Kirk leads you to the side of a massive vertical metal pipe with a rough hole cut in the side. He beckons you both inside. You descend through the pipe in silence and darkness. Suddenly, you come out through the ceiling of a wide and low hall. As far as you could see, crooked stalls and makeshift shelters dot the grilled floor, lit by scavenged lanterns and light strips. Steam drifts up through the grates, concealing the room so that you cannot see the walls. Welcome to Rhyme Market. Kirk gestures a thick hand at the ramshackle interior. Lodic doesn't know about this place. He smiles. Let's get a drink. He leads you off to a nearby stall with a set of improvised stools welded to the floor in front. He hooks his legs onto one, and you and Seraphin follow suit. He holds up 3 fingers to the stall's owner, and a drink in a straw-pierced packet is handed to each of you. Seraphin looks skeptically at the drink. We friends now or something? Look, Kirk takes a sip. I'm not going to apologize for putting you on your arse. That's on you, but like I said, I represent the contractors, and if someone is part of the family, well... He shrugs his massive shoulders. Then they deserve to be heard out at least. You know who we're looking for? Luz, he said? I know a Luz for sure. Describe her. Kirk leans back on his stool. I'm not giving you anything more until you prove she's your sister. Seraphin closes his eyes. Dark hair, used to wear it long, and messy, bright eyes, broad shoulders. You see a little twitch around his eyes as he recalls. Tough but kind. Tattoos, nervous laugh. He opens his eyes and glares at Kirk. That enough? Kirk sniffs. Yeah, that's her. You feel something jump in Seraphin, as an almost imperceptible tension rising. It's her, his sister. Luz, Kirk speaks slowly, drinking between, or whatever her real name is one of the contractors here. She's part of the most recent contracts Lodic registered. That means... Just tell me where she is, Seraphin demands, his impatience getting the better of him. As I was saying, Kirk gives Seraphin a pointed look. Those new contractors are restricted to the pithead. In fact, that is what we were discussing when you interrupted our meeting. Seraphin looks away in frustration but holds his tongue. Since the war, the Lodic Syndicate has been trying to lock down Wellspring. They went from a loose association of mining groups to an autocracy and started enforcing contracts with some seriously overreaching terms. Your sister? She's on one of those contracts. Lodic are acting like they own her and the others because according to the contracts, they do, which is exactly what we want to do something about. This cycle. He forcefully taps the bar with a finger. We are voting on strike action and a full blockade of Flotsam. We will bring the Syndicate to the table to... Seraphin knocks his drink away and kicks off from the table, disappearing into the market. Stay with Kirk. Kirk watches Seraphin go with a disappointed look in his eyes. Your friend will go to the Lodic Syndicate, I know it. He sips from his drink. They won't help him there. Kirk's bright eyes meet yours. The Syndicate will do nothing for him or for you, trust me. I want to help you, Sleeper. I want to help your friend, but I need your help in return. Good. Kirk nods. I knew you would. Kirk places a plastic pass card into your hand. It glints with the mark of the Lodic Syndicate, a blurry ID photo laminated into its transparent interior. This will get you into the pithead. You could see for yourself what's happening here. Don't follow your friend to Lodic. Go to the pithead. Find Luz yourself. He meets your eye. When you do, come back to me, and we could discuss how to free her and everyone else like her. If you go to Lodic, if you meet with them, I can't help you. He releases your forearm and drifts back into the crowd, disappearing into the steam and darkness. You catch up with Seraphin in the bustle of the Rye Market amongst the steam and crowds. I can't have been the only one who saw his pitch coming a mile off. Seraphin is bristling with anger. What kind of idiots does he think we are? This is about getting my sister out of whatever mess she's gotten into. Seraphin starts to push through the crowd towards the exit tunnel. We need to speak to Lodic. Forget these clowns. He shoves his way forward. We don't need to get tied up in this. We just need to get her out. Seraphin forges on ahead, and you get caught in the crowd behind him. As he disappears from view, you curse his impatience. You float there for a moment, buffeted by passing people, clutching onto the Lodic Pass, trying to decide what to do next. Alright, well there's our Lodic Pass. That's a new location. Alright, let's take a look. Oh, we could buy rare components. And scrap components, okay. So that becomes that. And what now will we need to do here? So let's see. The supervisor waves you through, barely looking at the pass. You're in. Okay. Okay, we got two different places now. We got a food place. Using your pass, you can sneak into the canteen and get some free food, but you better be careful. Your Lodic Pass isn't actually yours, and if they find that out, you won't be able to eat here anymore. Okay, good to know. So there is still a risk there. Join a work crew. The best way to find loot will be to infiltrate the work crews and gain access to the deep parts of the mine. The shaft is a constant flow of contractors, but you're determined to find loot amongst all these faces. Okay, so this is a little risky. I don't really want to do this. I wonder if I can use... Let's see... Right, so this is only a negative clock. It's almost not worth it. I forgot how to push. How does it allow us to push? Sure, let's see what happens. Energy gone. Okay. No one seems to have heard of Luce, or at least they won't tell you if they have. 20% positive, 80% negative. This is 50-50. Let's just try that. All right. Hey, you manage half a meal before someone notices you. You quickly leave before you're rumbled. All right. So this is this day. All right. Yep. End the cycle. And how are we doing on lane? Because this is about to get dangerous. Ooh, I see we got full supplies. Let's switch to cryo. I think we're out of the range for lane. There's no clock here. Maybe this is they're a little bit more generous because this is such a plot beat, right? Lodic operation. Seraphin wants to meet with the syndicate bosses to negotiate his sister's release. He needs your help. Getting a meeting with the higher-ranking members of the Lodic Syndicate is a challenge, but you aren't giving up. Okay. So this is an engage. Got it. Do I have to do both? I don't really know what it's asking. I think I could let's just try to find her first. Nice. Apparently the locked-in contractors are working deeper in the shaft. You need to explore. Okay, you overhear talk of the contractors locked into their contracts, but you miss half the conversation. Nice. Do you overhear talk of the Yep. Okay, and then I think, well, let's just use the two here. Nice. Excellent. You managed to get inside and speak to a secretary, but they aren't very helpful. Okay, that's this day. Going back, here we go. And actually we could, well, we'll use the glitch dice maybe on the next one when I actually need the food. End cycle. Ooh, really good. Really, 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 really good. Okay. Let's try to find her here now. I wonder, should I try to use the 4? That doesn't really help me because even if I could get the positive result, I feel like I'm just better off doing this. Let's do it. Yeah. Apparently the locked in contractors, yada yada yada. Let's do one more. Oh, shit. You over here talk of the contractors locked into the contracts. I'm gonna let that, because I wanna try to progress this one too. So let's do this. Nice. You're promised a meeting, but it is postponed due to crisis talks. This is going nowhere. Ooh, energy down. Okay. Let's try to use this. See what happens. Canteen ban. Security guards call you over and you kick you out when you see a ragged pass. Okay, I don't want to be starving, so let's the meal is pretty high. So actually, let's sleep and then we'll use the meal. Okay, here we go. And end cycle. That's some good rolls. Okay, we'll take it. Keep getting a 2 in the mix though, which is funny. Nice, excellent. Okay, so we're back up to normal. Let's come back here. I think we can get away with a 4 here. For just 1? Absolutely. You're heading down the deepest part of the shaft with a tip-off that Luce is there. The shaft descends towards a sump in the depths of the pit. Here, the air is freezing cold to prevent the ice from melting into globules of floating water. If your breath carried water, you would be able to see it in the air, but the absence of steam in each exhalation only serves to remind you of your own strangeness. Not that anyone else notices. The workers' heads are low, their eyes fixed on their work, shuttling chunks of ice and tools up and down the shaft. At the end of the nearby tunnels, you see the bright sparks of ice cutting in progress, slabs hanging in the air in that strange way they do in 0G. Some loose memories of the time before Darkside, before Lane, before freedom come to your mind. The familiarity of the cold, the sparks, the endless toil. It chills you more than the packed ice on either side of you ever could. You reach the bottom of the shaft, a metal grill marking the terminus. It squeals as you push open the bar door set into it, and safety lights flicker on, lighting up glittering ice particles all around in their hard beams. It's as if all the stars are held here in this cavern. As your eyes adjust, the massive space comes into focus. It seems to have no up or down, just countless dark shafts and terraced pits cut into its side. All around, silhouetted by their work lights, contractors cut and haul and gather. This is where these locked-in workers are being held, caught in a contract clause that permits an endless shift. The atmosphere is grim. At the center of the cavern floats a construction of welded-together habitation units. A heavy twist of cables stretches from this improvised structure past you and up the shaft beyond, tethering it to a central power source. On each of the 6 sides of this strange apartment block, a set of struts project outward, bracing the construction against the cavern walls. The block itself is wrapped in insulation, clad in protective plates. It glows with small apertures and lights. You approach the nearest entrance. Everything is bitten by rust, by decay. If the bars on the entrance weren't a clear enough indicator, it's obvious now that this place is a prison. The door scissors open, letting out a blast of warm air. You quickly duck inside, and it seals rapidly behind you. The cramped interior passage glows warmly, but its ragged condition keeps it from feeling cozy. You follow the corridor, ducking beneath hanging wires and loose insulation. This is where you were told you will find Luce, or whatever her real name is. You come out into a communal mess, counters and food preparation units fitted into the walls, cushioned stools and couches scattered around. A couple of contractors are stretched out in the space, one of them snoring loudly in the corner, another sipping from a food packet on a stool. Suddenly, a door on the far side opens to the cavern, letting in a flurry of ice shards that quickly become scattered orbs of water. You watch the figure as they glide into the warm light of the interior with their dark hair and bright eyes, and you know this is who you're looking for. You meet eyes with hers, and something sparks in that dull and cloying room. It's as if she recognizes you. Sleeper? She looks in a haze, her hair stuck to her forehead with sweat, her eyes still adjusting to the interior. I'm with your brother. My brother, she frowns. You could see her scan you, taking in your clothes. The way you hold yourself, your face, for a moment you feel exposed, aware of your damaged vinyl skin, your industrial markings, your doll-like features. You feel the familiar sense of being objectified, but also something warmer below it, a recognition of what you are. She blinks, exhales, and shakes her head, realizing she's mistaken. Give me a second, all right? I just finished cutting 100 cubic meters of ice. She pulls back her hood. Haven't seen you down here before. They just contract you or something? The tension drops, but you get the feeling she isn't quite looking at you. She crosses to a food unit and pulls out a packet, slotting it into a warmer. She thumbs it on. First sleeper I've seen in a long while. She doesn't take her eyes off the slowly warming food. You'll do okay down here. I know you folks are tough and stick with the job. That's good. The rest I can show you once I've eaten. She laughs a little to herself. I'm not here to work. I know the feeling, but if you're on a contract, they've got you. She pauses, her eyes not leaving the warmer. You'll get used to it. It's a little difficult at first, but you will. You're not listening. She turns to face you, and you see a wet shine to her eyes. What are you going on about? You realize what you need to tell her. Seraphin's on Wellspring. The warmer chimes to let her know the food packet is ready, but she doesn't seem to notice. Seraphin? She takes a ragged breath, then steadies herself. Here? Not here at the cut. She nods and then shakes her head. Well, if he trusts you with his name, I guess I should trust you with mine. She comes closer. I'm Tala. She smiles a warm smile. Now, where is my idiot brother? I'll take you to him. She laughs nervously. Sorry, this is not what I was expecting on my lunch break. Tala suddenly seems to take on some energy. She glances towards the corridor behind you and at the door at the end. I'm sure you have a plan, Sleeper, because they do not want us locked-in contractors getting out. She moves towards the corridor. There's security in the shaft and then again at the pit head. You must have passed through the checkpoint at the entrance, too. I doubt we can bypass all of those. She turns back, grabs her food packet, smiles at you, and shepherds you towards the corridor. You could run a distraction, maybe? Or is Sarah on that already? You're slightly taken aback by her sudden change. We're going to have to. A blaring alarm sounds inside the habitation module, loud enough to wake the sleeping contractor with a start. You and Tala exchange glances. Surely this can't be for you. Tala rushes down the corridor and tears open the door at the far end, with you following close behind. The ice scatters, glittering in the interior light. The cavern is in chaos. You see dark-suited Lodic security wrestling with contractors, lit by flashing red alerts. More contractors are coming in through the door in the grill you entered from, carrying bulky equipment. The equipment is blaring out a voice, Kirk's voice, echoing around the cavern. A look of panic crosses Tala's face. A general strike is now in effect. All contractors should down tools and hold in place. Extraction will cease until our terms are met. Kirk's voice distorts and shifts. We have blockaded all traffic to and from Wellspring. We seek the resignation of the syndicate's leadership for a new workers' council to be installed in its place. This cycle, we will shut down the shaft. Any worker not willing to strike should leave now. There is a screech of noise and the message begins repeating. You watch as the security are pushed back towards the grill, outnumbered by the gathering workers. Tala looks at you for guidance. What do you want to do? Tala looks around the cavern, the red lights reflecting in her eyes. She sighs. I need to stay. I won't abandon the others. What about Seraphin? Tell my brother what's happening. Tell him I'm not leaving until all of us are free. Tala backs away, glancing over her shoulder at the others. You see them gathering their tools and taking them to be locked away in the hab module. I need to see this through, Sleeper, and you need to go. Find Seraphin. Do what you can from out there. Help us change this place. And with that, she turns and glides off towards the others. You turn and head for the grill as quickly as you can. The way now cleared by the contractors, the handful of low-tech security pushed back up to somewhere near the pithead. As you ascend, other contractors shooting you dark looks as you do, you realize you have to speak with Kirk. Whoa. Wow. Okay. You find Kirk at the pithead directing contractors to barricade the entry points to the mine. So, you took my advice. Good. Kirk smiles. We're glad to have you as an ally here, Sleeper. You could have warned me. The entirety of Wellspring is at stake here. Kirk shakes his head. This is not about individuals. The Syndicate was arrogant. They did not believe we could do this. Kirk gestures towards the contractors welding plating across the checkpoints. But we far outnumber them. Their monopoly ends here. How can I help? Kirk leads you a little way away from the contractors. If you want to free those like Seraphin's sister, I'll need your help. We have ships, but not many, and the Syndicate still has tankers in operation. Our blockade is not complete. The debris field between here and the far spindle remains open. We need another tanker to occupy it and dissuade the Syndicate from trying to pass. All of our ships are in use, but your ship and your crew could help us take a tanker and secure the blockade. I'm no merc. This will not be an assault. Kirk puts his hand on your shoulder. The tanker, the Headstream, has been held outside Wellspring for many cycles. The crew is tired and sympathetic to our cause. We'll all just give them a nudge. Your ship will pose as an in-distress trader trapped in the debris field. When the Headstream is obliged to rescue, we'll board and encourage the crew to take control. You want to incite a mutiny? Trust me when I say that their captain does not deserve his charge. This is a liberation. It's going to be the captain that we know. Kirk folds his arms across his chest. Will you do it? I'll consider it. Consider your options carefully, Sleeper. He smiles. Do you know that the Syndicate wants anything to do with you now? They have been watching me, and so they know about you. Suddenly, Kirk puts 2 fingers in his mouth and blasts a shrill whistle. A contractor quickly approaches with a large box, the front marked by screens and dials, and the back by loose cables. You'll need this HasNav unit to navigate the debris field. He nods at the contractor. Jens here will install it into your ship. Consider it a gift from our cause to yours. He nods once more, and Jens passes by you, heading for the lift to the docking ring with your new module. I'll provide the Headstream's coordinates. He moves away towards the contractors, still working on the checkpoints, and I'll wait for your word. You leave the pithead behind, your mind racing. You don't know how you've ended up in the middle of all this, but you know that it will be up to you to pilot your way out. Sleeper! Seraphim comes up the passage towards you. What's happening? I heard the pithead is being taken over by Kirk's guys. This, you realize, will take a lot of explaining. Okay. So we're in the middle of a riot. And we have a little bit of work to do. Okay, well, I think we're going to call it on this one, and we will follow up with this storyline in the next episode. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you liked it, and we'll see you in the next episode.